Hi, I'm Mike, and today I just wanted to do a quick Arch install, and I've done a few over the last few days, just kind of playing around with some of Eric Dubois' new Arco images as far as the Xmonad and Awesome, and they are it's aptly named. They're pretty awesome. I've really enjoyed them, and I have gone through his way of installing the Archway, and I've kind of I made a few changes here and there as far as the order of things and the way I like to do them, and just go ahead and install everything you need at once after the pack strap and everything. So I just kind of want to just walk you through a quick Arch install, and it's not going to take very long. I know there's this big stigma around Arch. Ooh, it's super duper hard to install. But, after you do it a few times, it's not that bad. So, what do you say we get to it? So, right now, this is, I'll tell you what, let me go back here, and I'll show you my VirtualBox settings real quick. So, if we go in here to Arch, and I go to Settings, and my system, I've given it four processing cores, enabled EFI, maxed out the video memory, enabled 3D acceleration, hooked up my Arch Linux ISO to the IDE controller, and pretty much left the rest of it alone. So there we go. Now, if we go here, just to verify that we are booted into an EFI environment, let's do EFI var-L. And we got a bunch of lines. We're good to go. That is per Eric Dubois' site. All right, so now we're going to make sure we have internet. Ping 3 times. Let's do Google. And we have internet. So now let's set time and date. So time, date, CTL. Set NTP true. Sorry, can't type today for some reason. All right, let's list the block devices. All right, we have one disk assigned SDA. Let's partition that out properly so we can get Arch installed, shall we? CF disk. We're going to choose GPT. We're going to give the first one, I like to do about 600 megs, so 600 megabytes. And we're going to go to type, go scroll up to EFI system, come back to free space, hit new. I gave that 4 gigs of RAM, so tell you what, let's just do 4 gigs anyway, 4 gigs to swap to. I know in the Arco Linux Archway and whatnot, he likes to do double the RAM, but this is only a 32 gig, so I'm just going to do 4 gigs. It should be fine. Shouldn't blow anything up. So we're going to do Linux swap and come down again, go to new. We're going to give this Linux file system and write it. And we have to type in yes to make the changes, and come over to quit. Now LSBLK again, and we have 3 partitions. So that was fairly painless, right? So now we have them partitioned. Now we need to install, we need to put file systems on them. So let's start with SDA1. So mkfs.fat capital F32 for FAT32 /dev /SDA1. All right, so now we need to, for SDA2, that's the 4 gig partition, we're going to make that swap. So mk swap /dev /SDA2. There's that. Now swap on /dev /SDA2. All right, now let's see. mkfs.ext4 /dev /SDA3. And I need to put a space in there. All right, there's that. So now let's mount them. So mount /dev/sda3. Cannot type today. To /mnt. Yep. All right. Now we need to make a directory called /mnt/boot and mount it /dev/sda1 to mnt boot. All right. Now's the time where you would go through and select your mirrors. I'm not going to do that, so because there's like 200 and something of them, and it just takes forever. This is going to be a kind of a quick and dirty install, so feel free to do it if you want. The way to do that, you would do nano. I'm just going to clear it. Nano etc pacman.d/mirror list, and that's going to pull everything up there. And the way you would do that, you just go through there, and let's say you didn't want the Romania server, just put a pound sign in front of it and just go through the whole list. A lot of people like to go through geographically. If they're in the US, they want to get rid of everything that's not in the US, but that's not necessarily the fastest way. So I'm just not gonna fool with it for now. So Control X. Save modified changes. No. Now, since that's done, we can do the pack strap. So pack strap mount, and that's base and base devel. And this is going to take a little while. What it's going to do is going to create all of the directories and everything that we need. It's going to download all the firmware. It's going to download everything that we need, the compilers, everything. And but it's not going to be bootable. So we're going to need to change root into our installation and do a few things like generate fstab. We're going to need to install a few things like network manager, got to install grub, install EFI boot manager. I like to install sudo and vim and a couple things just to make my life a little easier. And you got to set the hardware clock. Let's see, I gotta go to my notes here. Set the hardware clock, set your locale, your host name, edit your host file, set a root password, install grub, and then I'm going to install vim. And all that stuff along the way, and add it. And I like to go ahead and add a user. So I'm going to create a user named Mike because, well, I'm Mike, and we're going to edit the sudoers file and give me permission to use sudo. And we're going to apply Eric Dubois' fix for VirtualBox, because the first time I did this, it would boot up. I could reboot and everything, but if I powered off the machine and went back in, it would not start. So apparently there was something off in grub. So I'm going to apply that patch or that fix rather, and we're going to be good to go. So right now it's still downloading firmware, and like I said, it's going to take a minute, but it is what it is. So I may just pause the video and come back when this is done. So sorry for the ramble. It probably wasted some time. So anyway, I'll see you in just a few minutes. All right, that took about 3 minutes or so after I paused the video or what have you. So now that's done. The pack strap process is completed. So let's generate fstab now. So we're going to do gen. Oh, let me get clicked in here. Gen fstab dash capital U /mnt, and we're going to put that in /mnt/etc/fstab. All right, so let's cat that out. and that looks pretty good to me. So let's clear the screen, and let's see. All right, so now it's time to root into the installation. So arch root /mnt, and we're in. So now I'd like to go ahead and install everything that we're going to need. So we're going to do pacman capital S vim, not need to work, network manager, grub EFI boot mgr, and sudo. I like to go ahead and just get it all out of the way. That way I can just do the commands, bing, bang, boom, done. So give that just a minute and we'll be ready to rock and roll. First thing we're going to do is set the time zone. I am in the central time zone, as if you can't tell from my pretty thick southern accent. I'm in Alabama. So let's install. So once that's done, we'll go ahead and get the ball rolling here. I'm just going to do a link to it. So ln-sf user share zone info /America /Chicago. I'm nowhere near Chicago, of course, but that's still my time zone, and it's the largest city that's listed in the map generally. So, and we're going to put that in etc /local time. And now we're going to set the hardware clock. So HW clock SY sysohc. All right, that's done. Now let's edit the locale.gen file. So vim /etc/locale.gen, and we can page down until we get to the appropriate line, which for me is not on the screen yet. I always have the hardest time finding this. So there you are, you little devil. All right, there. Write and quit, and we're good to go there. So now we have the locale.gen done. Let's echo the language part. Language equals en_us.utf-8 and close the quotation marks, and send that to /etc/locale.conf. Make sure, check my notes, make sure that's right. Yep, that's correct. So now we're going to echo the name of our VM into the host name file. So I'm going to call this archvm. Echo archvm into etc/hostname. And now let's see, now we're going to edit the host file. So vim /etc/ no, not local, /hosts. I'm going to come down here just into insert mode, and I got this straight off of Eric Dubois' site, so this is known to work. So we're going to do 127.0.0.1 and tab over localhost, and ::1 tab twice localhost, then 127.0.0.1 and archlinux.local domain and tab once again, Arch Linux, and that will have us good to go. All right, let's clear the screen. Now let's enable Network Manager since we've already downloaded it. So systemctl enable capital N etwrk capital M ANAGER. All right, that's good. So now we're going to set a root password. So passwd. All right, just an arbitrary password I made up. Now let's install grub. So grub install, and our target equals let's see, x86 underscore 64 dash EFI and dash target EFI directory equals, let me check my notes real quick, just make sure I'm right. EFI dash directory equals /boot. Just want to make double sure. All right, so now we're going to make the config file. So grub dash mk config dash o /boot /grub .cfg, and we're good to go there. So now let's add a user. So I'm Mike, I'm going to add Mike. So user add M and G users, capital G, audio, let's see, video, storage, network, wheel, let's see, I think that's it. And let's do, and I'm going to go ahead and set my shell as bin bash and Mike. Did not need a comma at the end of that. That's what it was. Had a comma at the end, so I didn't need one there. Now we're going to give Mike a password. So passwd Mike, and Mike now has a password. So let's give Mike sudo privileges. So editor equals vim vi sudo, page down until we get to here where it says uncomment to allow members of this group to execute any command. Let's do that. But I do want to type in a password because I'm sure you've seen the video. I make really stupid mistakes when typing, so I always make sure. All right, so we're good there. All right, so now let's apply the VirtualBox fix. So we're going to make a directory called in boot /EFI /boot, and we're going to copy the contents of boot /EFI /arch /grub x64.efi into /boot /EFI /boot x64.efi. All right, so now we can exit the root environment, unmount all the volumes, and they're going to say they're busy, whatever. So reboot, and that got us back to grub. That works. But now the true test is turning off the virtual machine and rebooting everything up again. So let's try that now. Alright, so hit this, power off the machine. Now we're going to go back to Arch Linux here, and we're going to start it up again. Let's go here, settings, storage, remove the attachment, okay, and start normally. And that's what it was. I just had to take the image off of the VM. So we are good to go now. So let me log in as Mike, and there's my password. So let's make sure we have internet. Sudo pacman-syu, and we're good. Fantastic. So now we can clone this and install a bunch, and as many times as we want now, and install different desktop environments, run different sets of scripts, all that kind of stuff off of a clean install. So let's walk through how to do that real quick. Let's go back to here, and let's say we're going to, let's power off the machine real quick. So let's take Arch Linux here and go to clone. So we can do expert mode and all that kind of stuff if you want to, but let's make it Arch Linux Mate. And we're going to do clone. It's going to take it a minute, but it's not long. It's running off of an SSD. So now here we go. We can do that, and let's start this one. See, that's working. All right, so let's sign in with Mike. And we're still good to go. And that was off of a straight up clone. So that's all I've got. I hope this helps you out and makes Arch a little less scary to install. So thanks a lot. Y'all have a nice evening. Appreciate you watching.